read here. Have you found anything yet? Huh. It reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Rodkani. But you're not far off.
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long after he went to prison. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He is a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. His reputation goes back a long way now. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used to practice together when they weren't out on a mission.
Ah, right. I heard Cyno mention that before. But one day, I wonder if it had anything to do with the Mortada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Mortada was born, so when Mortada came to study at the Academia, everyone had... Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. Shortly after, Mortada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why.
I had no idea that happened.
That's awful. Paimon...
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect. Impossible. Taj would never do that. But this is Taj we're talking about. He would...
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the Academia, because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the Academia.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life, though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. Do you have any questions?
Paimon's kind of confused.
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspects there's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Don't worry, Tosh.
Alrighty then.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods?
No, not that I'm aware of.
La da 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 da.
It's just tunnel visioning.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Well,
Your theory
your
is just putting the
perspective
cart
is
before the
just
horse.
tunnel visioning.
Your
Are you
theory
tired?
is just putting the
Try my new spicy energy drink. I'm sure it'll wake you up.
Tunnel visioning.
Your theory is just putting
Your
the cart before the
perspective
horse.
is just tunnel visioning.
Everyone is working super hard. We should be too. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Your
Theory is just putting
perspective
the cart
is just
All the standing around is making me so sleepy. La da 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 da. Everyone is working super hard. We should be too. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister. I'll protect us.
Excuse me. Have you seen any large shipments of goods?
Huh. Well, yes, but the academia consumes so many resources each day. Everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials.
Right, but we're looking for ship.
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the good.
Excuse me. Have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh? Why do you ask?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened.
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. Dozen of large boxes each time, if not more. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. But he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before.
And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection?
Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once. thinking that maybe they forged it or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I?
Impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would ever... No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must be trying to frame him. Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it." Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he had also changed into Eremite attire. But Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try visiting his home. He lives just on the outskirts of Sumeru City.
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really be the one making all the canned...
No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There is no way that he would... Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
So, this is Taj's place. There doesn't seem...
Well, what should we do then? Do we break it?
No. Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. This is an emergency. I just hope Taj doesn't mind. What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil, can you make any sense of this?
Yes. This is definitely... These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the numbers, the scale of this smuggling case... The whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens... I have a feeling that Cyno might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization on their own. You're right, that's just who he is. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. Let's take it to Cyno and let him decide how to proceed. If Taj really has turned... I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well.
All right, we'll give these to
Taj. It's been a while since I last saw him. From what I remember, he is a straight-laced man. Although he would resort to extreme
So do you think he's the one behind all this?
I'm still not sure. I cannot imagine how devastating the incident with Mortada was for him. Nor can I deny whether it's out of love for his son or for other reasons. We have to see for ourselves to judge him. Or rather, that's right. It's clear that he had a hand in this case, yet he made no report of it. There's no doubting that. That's also why I need to see him. I must ask his reasoning and judge him myself. Time is ticking.
Chivalry will never die.
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paimon's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me.
Rain outlines your fate. Let
Surrender!
Stand clear. Ta!
No, my sword!
Nowhere to run!
Look, these walls have definitely seen better days. Was there some sort of fight here? Let's keep going and see what we can find. Whoa, is it just Paimon? Or did that passageway just rotate? It's not gonna start moving again, is it? Either way, we should be careful. Don't break my glass. A passage! Hopefully that's our way in.
Futile!
That eye seems to be staring right at us. This place gives Paimon the creeps. You go first.
Nowhere to run!
Body and mind.
Surrender!
Rain cutter.
Nowhere to run! Through me, justice is served! Your penance is... Taj.
Ah, Cyno. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you are doing well. Seeing that you've made it all the way here, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Even faster than I expected. Is it because you have some new partners now?
That's right. This case is nearly closed. But the most important answer still eludes me. Was it all your doing? Smuggling the canned knowledge? The research of the Court of Desolation?
Yes, it was me.
Then explain why.
That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed. I've become a selfish coward who only wants to pursue his own interests.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, really? Way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. But as you begin to age, you start to become more cautious. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I could feel the justice that I once strived to uphold slowly crumbling in my heart. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling... Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path, My son I failed him as a father. But now I have a chance to make it right. A chance to reunite with him. The Court of Desolation. Here lies...
So, did you already...
See this door behind me? Behind it, I'm so close, Cyno. If only you hadn't arrived...
Enough conjecture. What has happened in the end? The treasures you...
Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see then?
No. I sense danger behind that door.
I beg you, as an old partner, can you... Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy will only drive people away from you. I'm the prime example.
I don't overthink things. If there is only one way for me to defend my principles, then that is the path I will take.
Seems there's no convincing you. All right then. Let's see if your polearm skills have improved at all. This power
Futile! Rain outlines your fate. Time to act.
I got you covered! Nowhere to run! Futile!
No, my sword! Huh? Let me weave you a verse.
Surrender! Your sins weigh upon your soul. You stand condemned.
As I thought.
Your strength.
You feel it, don't you? I'm stronger than you. This is only a taste of it.
Uh-oh.
I won't let you open that door.
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid it won't be easy to stop me.
I'll do what
I still remember when we first became partners. Even after all this time, you still haven't changed.
You haven't changed either. You left that list of names and map. All of this was just part of the act you were putting on. What happened just now was also part of your plan. I had my suspicions from the beginning, but I couldn't be sure until we fought. If he really had changed, your fighting style wouldn't be as it was before.
Huh?
He never planned on opening the door.
What's happening?
Seems our time is running short. Let me make this quick then. After Mortada died, my spirit was crushed. For a long time, that is when I was approached by someone who wished to collaborate and find the Court of People from every walk of life are involved. They are relentless in their search.
No wonder banning the research wasn't enough. A full-scale
I'm a flesh and blood human like anyone else, so I obviously hesitated and considered it. I suddenly came to a realization amidst my suffering. The Court of Desolation, a place that once drove people to tragedy, was still... As long as this place exists, people will recklessly seek it out, just as Mortada did. Generation after generation, regardless of the cost. Let it be buried beneath the sand forever. Once the Court of Desolation is gone, there will no longer be anyone obsessed with seeking it out. That's right. I acted as if I had abandoned my convictions just so that they would cooperate without raising any... But that wasn't enough. I needed someone I could trust to bring the organization to justice. To add to the problem, the organization is so powerful that they even have members working within the academia.
So, you pretended to be the one behind...
Yes. I'm sorry, but anyway. This place is collapsing. You must leave.
Wait! Aren't you leaving too?
His fate is already sealed. There is no life left inside him. He is like a candle with no more wick to burn. You planned it all from the very beginning, didn't you? Risking being treated as a traitor to collaborate with them. Sacrificing your own life.
Regardless, I made a grave mistake by allowing the smuggling and the research of this place. Let this be. I was always so busy with work that I never... Finding this place was his biggest wish. Since I'll be reuniting with him here, I can only hope he won't have anything more to hold against me. I'll leave all those people on the list to you.
There's nothing to be sorry for. If you see more Tada,
Dad, why are they so strict with me? I'm always the only one who gets in trouble.
Just leave me alone! Don't worry, I won't damage your precious reputation.
All right, Dad. Let's start over. By the way, I finally found an area of research I wish to pursue. Why can't you show even a little leniency? Why?
Because we are Matra.
Huh? The Court of Desolation has...
just as Taj said, that place had caused too many disasters and tragedy. Being buried in quicksand is its rightful end. To them, as long as there's more to be made, they will disregard the Academia's rules, whether it's the Court of Desolation or anything else. Their only goal is to make massive profits off of dangerous research. Taj may have said that's an opportunity that...
We'll help too.
Thank you. But you just leave the rest to me. I will bring them to So, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh my god. Goodness. Oh my gosh. Wow.
We meet again. Thank you so much for all your help.
Nabil, what are you...
Convicts from the desert are being escorted through Caravan Ribat, so I'm here to keep an eye on things. The last few days have been quite the ride. At first, the mercenary groups on the list were putting up quite a fight. After that, people on the list started to put pressure on the higher-ups within the Academia. Everyone was on edge.
And?
Well, then we received word that Taj Radkani had sacrificed... The Matra then moved together against the enemy. We cleared out the traitors. Some of them managed to get out of the academia, but still failed to escape. The scattered criminals were captured by Cyno. I even heard that someone was about to escape to Fontaine, but was still apprehended just at the border. Having more than 300 prisoners apprehended for interrogation has definitely shaken things up recently.
Is Cyno alright? He didn't get in.
He seems fine. He brought over 300 suspects to judgment all on his own. Among them were even some of our former colleagues. Not just the criminals are afraid of him. Even we start feeling a little nervous when he's around now. But even if we start feeling all self-conscious, thinking if we've done anything wrong, we're still old. By the way, are you guys here to see Cyno? He was walking with someone I didn't recognize, and then before I knew it, they were nowhere to be seen.
Sure thing, Nabil. You be careful too. Don't let any of—
Don't worry about me. If anything...
Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating, but I can assure you this is certainly not the best solution.
I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Mortada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. Naturally, after Mortada died, the organization tried toying with others' minds, treating lives like dirt, and doing anything for their own interests. This makes me angry.
Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. If thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect. I don't have much—
Cyno! Tighnari! Oh, so Tighnari must be who Nabil saw earlier!
That's right. Cyno asked me to collect some medicinal herbs. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems to be fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than— And Cyno, relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know. Why don't you play more Genius Invocation TCG, huh? Kale has always been a little wary of you, and your stern
How is Kale the—
She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes on her last test, even after I had marked all the After some time, I plan on having her go outside more.
Huh? You mean Kale is—
I've asked her to host some ad hoc lectures to teach the dangers of canned knowledge, although we've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case. So, I decided to ask her to work on increasing knowledge and awareness on the—
I will.
If anything else happens, the three of you can find me.
I've already caught those who were preparing to it. Even if some criminals did slip through our fingers, they wouldn't know that—
But what about you?
It's still not time for me to rest yet. Those who died have fulfilled their wish. I've been thinking about what Taj said in the Court of Desolation these last few days. I just hope my own change will come slowly, so that I can press on a little further. That way, those who see me as their superior, and those who are following in my footsteps, will learn courage from my example, just as I gained courage from my own superiors, and my partner. I'll be fine. I'm also enjoying my chat with you right now, you know. There are many things I feel better about once I start to talk about them. Many people want to go to the desert to offer condolences for Taj, but I didn't share details with anyone. One day, I'll gather some flowers that grow in arid desert conditions.
Body and mind.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today. Ad Astra.
It was on a deserted, moonlit night.